You should start by thinking before you speak. All right, then, come on.
We're not gonna let her get away with that, are we, B? She's nothing but a stuck-up know-it-all.
Oh, yes, we are. But the screws aren't. They're going to show her what it's like to do a little stint in solitary.
G'day, Sid.
Elizabeth. Mrs. Morris.
Hello, Mr. Humphrey. You're a silly old duffer giving us all a scare like that. You better get well soon now. The joint's falling to pieces without you being there. Isn't it, Mrs. Morris?
Well, that's right. I mean, it's amazing how many fuses and taps play up in a relatively new building.
Yeah. I'll do that for you, Sid.
I can do it. Not useless. Yet, you know.
Yeah, it's all right, Mr. Humphrey. Just this silly old splint that makes it difficult for you, that's all.
Heavens, I didn't know where to find you.
This is their idea of me using my brain, returning library books.
I'll have to be quick. I said I was going to use the bathroom. How can you speak to those women like that? They're very dangerous.
Why? What have they been saying?
Aren't you frightened of them?
Well, I figure I'll be all right as long as I'm not left alone with them.
Oh, you'll be left alone, all right. They're going to have you put into solitary.
How are they going to arrange that? Actually, I wouldn't mind the opportunity to get near that tough little number you came in with. Here's a criminal mind for you. Look, watch how they operate, Evelyn, without letting them know I'm onto them. In fact, I might even stir things up a little myself.
I seen that look in his eye, B. He doesn't want to go on. He reckons he's useless. I know he won't be coming back here. But when I needed him, he was here. And now that I could do something for him, I can't even see him.
Oh, love, though, it's your visit.
Honey, you gotta face up to one thing. Even if you were on the outside, you couldn't be much use to him. Lifting and carrying, you'd end up dead in a week.
You know, your best bet is to encourage him to get better. Positive thinking works wonders.
Well, now you're talking sense. For a minute there, I thought you were going to advise him to eat grass. Anyway, you're just in time to help us put Lois Lane in the pound.
Who?
Lois Lane, the reporter.
Oh, maybe we could get her into a fight.
No, it's got to be something that doesn't get us into trouble.
Oh, please, can't you leave her alone? I mean, we're all mature women. She has a right to think what she likes.
Well, she said she wanted to write an unbiased report. This way she can see both sides of the story.
After a few months, you'll learn what it's all about.
Oh, no. I'll be out once I get a fair trial.
Yeah, we've heard all that before, too. Maybe you should get her to write a piece on you. Or maybe you've asked her already. And that's why you want us to leave her alone. Well, looks like we've got a bit of opposition here. maybe we should be careful what we say in front of our new friends, girls.
Maybe she knows too much already, huh?
Oh, please, I just want to be left alone. I won't say anything to anyone. Really, I wouldn't want to upset anyone.
Good. Because, you see, when I get upset, someone always seems to get hurt.
Why does the governor want to see you, Doreen? You in trouble? Hey, I know it's none of my business, Doreen, but, well, I've been thinking about you a lot. And I think that you're letting that teacher walk all over you. I mean, why let a man think he's got the better of you? Once they know that they've gotten under your skin...
He can go and jump for all I care, and you too smart, Alec. You reckon you know it all, but that's because you know you're going to be out of here in a few weeks.
You're right, Doreen. Always putting my foot in my mouth, but honestly, I don't mean to. Anyway, I know you're over Mr. Andrews and all of that, but next time you got keen on a guy, play it cool. Like, well, pretend you don't care if they're dead or alive. Just dangle a little bit of bait in front of them and tease yourself up, make yourself look as good as you can. And presto, he's hooked. Works for me. Well, anyway, it's just my opinion. But I reckon that you should keep going to those classes too. I mean, show him you don't give a stuff. Why cut off your nose to spite your face? See ya.
These are the files on the new arrivals. You might like to study them.
I'd heard there were 3.
Oh, the other one decided to pay the fines instead of serving the full 7 days.
A sensible girl. When can I see the others?
Well, you can see Randall whenever you like, but we're keeping the Baxter girl in solitary for another 24 hours. Longer if necessary.
But she's only 19 and the first offender. Why the harsh treatment?
Well, to date, she's broken the nose of the girl who left. She's destroyed a uniform. She's plastered porridge all over the walls. She's refused to shower. It's altogether quite uncontrollable.
Has anyone tried to reason with her?
Well, I don't want her to have contact with anyone at this stage. If she doesn't learn from the outset that we won't tolerate offensive behavior, we'll never be able to control her. She'll calm down in due course.
And what if she doesn't?
Being confined to solitary has always worked in the past, even with the toughest. Is there anything else?
Yes, I think Lizzie'd like to continue seeing Sid Humphrey.
Oh, I don't think that's such a good idea, especially if she gets so depressed.
Well, I think that was just the shock of seeing him so ill.
But he's a friend of hers, about the only one she's got on the outside. It'll only make her worse if she knows she can't see him at all.
Very well. She can visit him tomorrow. But if she gets too upset, it'll have to be her last.
That's all, Mrs. Davidson. I better get back.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. Would you be so good as to send Doreen in, please? I'd like you to stay, Mrs. Morris.
Sorry we kept you waiting, Doreen. I'm disappointed you stopped coming to classes. You were doing very well.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of coming back again, if you must know.
Oh, good. You can go in now.
Hurry up, Doreen. We haven't got all day.
Well, you kept me waiting long enough.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Morris.
Sit down, Doreen. I received Miss Vaughan's report. She doesn't feel you were very cooperative.
Well, there was nothing to say. Like I told her, Mrs. Davidson, whatever happened between Kevin and me, well, that had nothing to do with anyone else.
If you have been married less than 2 years, the family law court requires you have counselling.
Yeah, well, I did.
And you feel once was enough?
I want whatever Kevin wants. And if he wants a divorce, well, then I'm not going to fight it, Mrs. Davidson.
Are you certain? Just because you've signed an acknowledgement service doesn't commit you. If you want further counselling...
I'm not going to hurt him any more than I've already done. I've got 3 years to go now. And I wouldn't expect anyone to wait that long, let alone Kevin. Letting him go is probably the most decent thing I've ever done for him.
I was thinking more along the lines of counselling helping you to come to terms with future relationships.
I don't need anybody telling me what's wrong with me. I know I've got a habit of messing things up, but I'm learning. I've got to grow up a bit, that's all. If I ever meet anybody like Kevin again, I'm going to show him that I can be as good as anyone else.
Oh, Evelyn, have you got a minute?
If any of those women know I'm talking to you, I'm sure they suspect something. You underestimate that Smith woman.
Yes, I'll be